Hello, SolarLune here, and here's another Gearend development log video. Okay, so I've made quite a few changes over the past week or so since my last devlog video, and so here's a little bit of an explanation of the stuff I've been working on. First things first, you'll notice that when I'm walking, when Eps is walking, the arms move back and forth. It's just a small little addition to make it look more like Eps is actually walking rather than the arms staying completely still. So that's a nice little feature just to make it feel more walky. It's done in code, just shifting the position of the arm sprites back and forth so that this can work with other arm sprites as well. I implemented a rocket launcher, which is the third weapon I implemented in this game, as well as the original Gearend. You use it and it launches a rocket. Pretty simple. Animated that explosion, animated those shadow sprites. Shadow sprites aren't done. I need to add some more lighting on them. Animated the sword, which has a nice little laser look, laser slash, and also animated the shepherd, the original gun. Yeah, so all of those are good. Got those particle effects working, the impact slash shot explosion particles. I think I want to add some particles flying off the back like in the original Gearend. I'm going to do that next, or at some point. Now that I have more than one weapon, more than two weapons, I'm going to probably also work on the method of selecting weapons in the field. I was originally, when I first started Gearend, I was thinking basically I wanted the player to have to think about what they wanted to do, how they wanted to play. So they would say, okay, well, maybe I want to, have this kind of a loadout or use these two weapons together, or whatever the case was. And so they would go to a save point and equip their items and weapons and, equipment as necessary to, proceed and play the game. That was cool. The idea of allowing the player to kind of choose how they wanted to play and frame drop and allowing them to kind of approach things differently. But the downside of that approach was basically, I was thinking about it and it just felt awkward. Just thinking about it, I was like, well, it's gonna be kind of awkward because you'll have to, as a Metroidvania or Metroid-like game developer, I'm gonna put secrets in different places. I'm gonna put walls that you need to blow up. I'm gonna put trees you need to burn down or whatever it is, and I can't just do that in context or as the situation demands it. I have to keep in mind that the player may or may not have that item equipped, so it would constantly be a game of either walking back and forth or being like a sequence of rock walls, where it's like if you go and say, oh, I need a rocket launcher to get past these rock walls, to break these rock walls, you're gonna go back to this save point, equip the rocket launcher, come back, and then just blow up like 10 rock walls in a row, because I can't do any other too many of any other challenges, any other kind of you need this item or weapon or part to proceed, because I don't want to have to force you to go back over and over again. So I decided, let's just make it so that you can equip items in the field, where you can just press a button or a sequence of buttons and select which items you want to equip, the sword, the shield, whatever it is. So that's what I'm going to do is implement some sort of weapon select or item select method, where you can just press some buttons, equip yourself as you want, and then proceed without having to go to a save point. The idea behind it that I'm working under right now is basically, because I'm playing this with the Super Nintendo controller, you'd hold R and it would bring up kind of like a up, down, left, right prompt, where up is the core, down is the legs, and left and right would be the arms, and then you would select which one of those slots you want to select, and then it would bring up another selection of a maximum of 8 parts, and you'd be able to just kind of like either 8 parts, because that way you have a key, a directional pad direction, for each option. So up, right, down, right, etc., all the way around. So you have 8 options total. Alternatively, you could just press left and right to slide between them. So I think just the choose the direction, using the directional pad to select it. I want to kind of implement that because I feel like it'd be a fun little system. Yeah, and I think the current count I'm sitting at with my spreadsheet, I have it kind of colored to show like which ones I'm working on, which parts I'm working on, which ones I want to implement, and which ones I have implemented already. I'm sitting on like 5 of every kind except for weapons. I think I have 6 weapons, 5 legs, 5 cores. I think that's it. So we'll see. That might rise a little bit, but we'll see. Yeah, okay, so that's all well and good. We'll see how all that works out. When you go and talk to an NPC, which this guy is, when you press down, he backs up or moves forward, depending on the need, to approach the NPC. I'm on like a really tight little railway, so it's kind of hard to show the approaching direction, but it does work, I think. I think it works. Okay, yeah, it works. But there's a bug. So I have to make it so that you can't talk to an NPC in the air. But yeah, he'll back up or move closer, and yeah, there we go. You can see how it works. The camera zooms in when you interact with an NPC, and then it zooms out when you're done. Okay, so you can move around, you can jump. I have this cloud layer that's kind of rolling in the background, looking kind of mode 70. I like the way it looks. I'm going to go ahead and probably refine it a little bit, kind of clean it up. But overall, that's kind of the look I'm going for. Kind of a interesting, dark, nighttime, weird kind of feel. Let's see. I have the camera system now locked to a grid. Locked to room objects I can place in the Blender scene. And as you place the room objects, you can scale them around so that that indicates basically that the camera can scroll. So for example, this room that we're in right now, the camera is locked here because the room is just one camera size large. The room over to the right is is long. So when you come over here, the camera will scroll because it's horizontally longer. So you kind of get a feel for the kind of gameplay it's starting to shape up to be, where it's kind of got doorways, it's kind of got entrances and exits, and a left, right, top, down kind of feel, where you can go from any one quote unquote room to any other quote unquote room. Yeah, so that's the way that things are shaping up. It's looking pretty good, feeling pretty good. Grass looks pretty great. Lots of stuff, lots of new graphics here and there, and just overall looking pretty good. I'm gonna keep improving it, of course. Oh yeah, and this room system, it's going to, I believe, should be pretty helpful when it comes to making a map system, because all I would have to do is just basically loop through the rooms in Blender's scene and get their relation to each other and just put them on a grid. It should be pretty simple because, I mean, for the most part, we're just talking about checking where any other room is in relation to any room that it's displaying on the map. So it loops through all the rooms and just puts them on the map. I can just plot them according to a grid, and where I don't even have to check to see where the room is in relation to any other room. I can just put it at whatever position it is, and assuming that they're all spaced out on the grid and I don't have any rooms overlapping, it'll all work out. So the map system should be pretty simple to get up and running too, based off of this. Alright, and these pipes aren't finished. I put them here because I thought they looked cool, would look cool. And they do kind of look cool, but I think I want like a dedicated sprite for that, because this is actually a horizontal pipe that's just been turned and upended and stuck in the ground to provide a little bit of a interesting look. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching. I've been SolarLune. This has been a Gearend development log video, and yeah, everything's going pretty well, so I'm happy with things so far. Alright, thanks. Hopefully this all turned out okay. See ya.